let's see, I can talk a little bit about the paper itself. We have staff meetings here. Every Thursday morning we have a staff meeting, and that's when we talk about what stories we are doing for the week. We also talk about what stories we're working on. We're always trying to work ahead of time, even though we just come out once a week. What's May looking like? What do we have going on in May? So we're working on special sections for May, or we're assigning the proms coming up or the graduations coming up. We work ahead, we plan ahead. Even though the main reporter might have not a lot of stories for that current edition, I want to know, what is he working on? What are you keeping busy with? There's never a lack of things to write about, no matter what. Even though the economy is doing what it's doing, it actually causes more stories for us, because there's more homes being foreclosed on and more businesses going out of business and things like that. So we do that on Thursday mornings, and Thursdays and Fridays are our main kind of reporting days. Monday is kind of our big writing day, and then Tuesday morning we start laying out the paper, and we go to press around 10:30 every Wednesday morning. So it is a fun job. There's a lot to do. The simple question is, why is this interesting? There's people who call me, and there's some people who think every story idea is a great story idea, but as a reporter and an editor, you can use your judgment. It's a hard lesson, but you eventually do learn to say no once in a while to someone, or you ask them to submit in a press release and we'll take it from there. That's kind of a hard part of this job, and that's probably a problem I have. I tend not to say no a lot to people, and you're busy, so sometimes you just have to. But a lot of times, like Tasha did too, sometimes if they're willing to submit a brief story for you, then you can run it that way and they still get their word out there. A lot of times with the schools, that's the case where we do that a lot. I mean, there's how many school buildings around the area, and you can't get everywhere. So we rely on teachers to submit things to us. We've tried to shy away a little bit too, the check shot, and we have a 5,000 donation coming up. Rachel, can you take a picture? And you always cringe at those kinds of things. But that's when you ask them, is there anybody there who could take a picture for us and submit it? It's still important to get in the paper, but as Tesha knows too, when you're a small staff, you just can't be everywhere.
A lot now with reporting and news journalism has turned into kind of the citizen journalist. Mm-hmm. Do you have people submit articles to you that then you will print, or do you just use your pool of reporters for your paper? How does that work?
If someone calls me and they want to submit a story idea or they want to write a story, I'll talk to them.
Okay.
I will. It doesn't happen a lot. Like I just had a girl that's a journalism student at UMD, and she said, Rachel, I'm covering this event, would you like a story? And we'll take it. Usually we'll take them.
Okay.
We don't really have a budget to pay people. A lot of times we give them a photo credit and a byline, and that kind of satisfies them. In your case too, we'll have people, sometimes letters to the editor get very long, and then we'll run them as a guest commentary on our opinion page kind of thing. This week we had a lady who she went on a trip to Israel, and she thought with Easter coming it'd be good timing, so she contacted me, Rachel, I would like to write up a column about my trip to Israel. It was a little long that I wanted to do, but we ran it, but it was a good readership piece for the timing with Easter week. Right. So yeah, we do. We like I mentioned, we have a lot of teachers who will submit stuff to us. I don't get a lot of just, kind of random phone calls. It's usually with someone that has, like a teacher or an interesting trip or something. And then we have guest writers that we will use.
And then you said in small newspapers too, you have to kind of do a little bit of everything.
You do.
And so when you first started out, is there something where is city council a place they put new reports? So it's just something like that where you do that all the time, that would be like your beat, or yes. Do you do a little bit of everything?
No, we here at our newspaper, we have assigned beats. Okay. When I started, I was assigned to Isani City Council and the Bram School Board. And those were my two main beats. Okay. So I knew, every other week or whatever, I was covering those meetings. And we're good at this newspaper too. I mean, I had my editor come with me to my first meetings to introduce me to people. One thing you learn, it takes a while to build up your relationships with people. It takes a while for you to gain their trust. You have to earn it. You really do. And you earn it by being accurate and being professional and showing up when you're supposed to show up, showing up on time. those little things make all the difference in the world to these people. You know, I first started photography was something I struggled with. It takes a while to get used to people looking at you when you're going to take a picture, and you know, that was something where I was, you know, and getting in close enough to take that good picture, that was something I kind of struggled with. But again, I had good mentors in my paper, and they showed me the way on that kind of stuff. Yeah, I basically had my assigned beats, and then my editor would assign me story ideas. And then also, as I got more involved with the community and what I did, I came up with my own story ideas. And that's what a good reporter should do. You should be curious. You know, I talked to my editor a lot about what do you think. And communication is a big deal in our small newsroom. We're constantly chatting with our reporters, and I'm constantly chatting, you know, with them, and you know, what are you working on and things. So, you know, I didn't have all the answers. It was my second job out of college, so I had some learning to do yet. So, yep. When I was a reporter, I worked about 40 hours a week. They didn't like overtime. I could have worked more. Yeah. Now as editor, I probably work around, I don't know, at least 50 hours a week. And like Tesha knows, you're kind of never off duty. Like I bring my laptop home, so I kind of keep up on the emails every night. You know, I'm writing from home a lot because sometimes the office is crazy with phone calls or emails constantly or people stopping in. It's hard for me to get my writing done, so I do a lot of writing at home. And you know, I update our website from my house too. If a breaking news story happens and I'm at home, I can update our website. I forgot to mention that obviously we have a website and we update that. And so you know, it is busy, but you know, that kind of goes with the territory. You know, as Tesha knows, you're not going to get rich working in this field. I have a very simple house and I'm fancy, as Tesha knows, and drive a simple car. But you can go into this business thinking you're going to make money. I went into this business because I really enjoyed writing, and B, I love working for a community newspaper. It's a feeling of satisfaction knowing that what you write may make a difference to someone. And it's something I never take for granted, but I mean, if I write a story on a fundraiser coming up for a cancer patient or whatever, I don't know why I keep saying cancer, but you know, just a story like that, and they'll call me, Rachel, we raised $10,000. That's what drives me. That's why I do it. It's also people's kind of right to know of what's going on, especially with governments and your taxpayer dollars. You know, the Mitch Clausen thing has been huge, and everybody's wanting to know, Rachel, what did this story cost, or what did this cost the school district?
Right.
They want to know. You know, so it's a sense of credibility, and they'll look to you for answers, and you try to do that the best you can.
Oh, I was wondering if you could talk about how Facebook and the website and those sort of Twitter, how you guys use those, how those affect the news business.
We
in
use
10 years, you've seen a lot of changes.
Yeah. We do have a Facebook Sandy County news page that I kind of pretty much the only person who does things on there. But what we'll do is I'll just do teasers, and then we link them back to our website. Obviously, our website is we have advertising on there, and you know, you get involved in the sales part of this thing a little bit too, even though you want to. But we need to get people back to our Sandy County News website. I can tell you our top referral for into our Sandy County News website is Facebook.
Wow.
Every time we go there, the most people are driven into our website because they clicked on something they saw on our Facebook page. And once we get them in there, then they'll spend a few minutes looking around, which is nice. But we also have a Twitter. I don't do Twitter, but I think everything we put on our Facebook links to us on our Twitter page. So I don't really worry about Twitter too much. I think our IT department has it set where if I post a brief on Facebook, it's sending out a tweet. I don't get into Twitter. But, you know, it's been interesting too, like, you know, Tesha and I think we've talked about this. I have people I cover wanting to be my friends on Facebook. And that's been an ishy topic. You know, I've accepted them, I guess, because I'm afraid they're going to be mad if I don't. But I try to I stay out of their Facebook pages.
Yeah.
And I think people understand, like, they'll send me a personal message, and I'll respond to personal messages, but I try to keep work-related items off that page. You know, I don't know, just things I'm working on, or, you know, if someone has an opinion on a government meeting, you know, I kind of stay out of that as far as, you know, that stuff. I'm just, you know, I don't know. It's kind of a slippery slope for me. But they've all been people who approached me. I don't go approach them, and I don't know why they approach me, but they have. So it's been a little bit different, but yeah, I mean, obviously it was interesting, we had a story a month ago on it was an event my reporter covered here on a NFL player who came out and he's gay or whatever, and ESPN linked our story. And so like last month we noticed we had a bunch of hits coming from ESPN and we didn't even realize because they had linked our story to their website. So we realized, I mean, it used to be a really big emphasis on your homepage of your website. Now we're realizing people are coming in from all different ways. They're not typing in iceandycountynews.com. They're Googling us or they're Googling a name and then they're coming to us that way. So that's been kind of a big change.